What's up, Michael Jordan collectors and investors? I hope you guys are having a great day. So, on this episode, I'll be covering the 1986 Fleer Michael Jordan rookie card stickers. So, this card has seen quite a ride in the last couple of months. So, this show might be kind of hard to watch this time because there's no really better way to say this. I hate to use this term, but the card has kind of fallen off a cliff here lately. I mean, percentage-wise alone, if you look at it, the card has dropped over 50%, which is much more than the base rookie card. If you look at the PSA 10 of the base rookie card, you know, it was about 700,000 at the peak, and now it's around 450,000. That's only about 35% drop. But if you look at the Michael Jordan rookie card sticker of the PSA 10, you know, that peaked out at about 220,000, and the most recent sell on PWCC on eBay was 95,000. So that's over a 50% drop. That's a little scary. I mean, for some guys that, you know, bought into this card at, you know, around its peak, it had a nice run there for, you know, about 2 or 3 sells were around 200,000, and everything was looking good, but the market cooled off, and it cooled off quite a bit. So you guys that bought this card at the peak, well, you just got to hang on to this card for the long haul. I mean, eventually, you know, years down the road, it's gonna be worth it. But right now, it's looking pretty grim. But you just gotta just keep on hoping and just put it away, hold it. So, and right here, if we look at this cell right here, so this is the one that concerned me the most right here. This sell for 95,000 right here, 95,100 on PWCC. This just happened on the 30th of March. So this is quite a drop off right here. If we look at the chart, look at the PSA 10 chart here. So this is the PSA 10 chart on cardladder.com, which is a good website. You should check them out. I got a link down below in the description that you can click on. So looking at this chart, it was doing so good, and it got up here 229,000 confirmed price. That's when it was at the top of the mountain right here, and then it had a dip here at 192,000, and then it was back up to 216,000 on the 5th of March. Everything's still looking great, but then we had this sell right here for 155,000 on the 19th of March. So which is this sell right here, 155,201, which is a PWCC sell. And this was on the 19th of March. So that's when we first saw it start to dip a little bit. So then we go back after the 155,000 sell right here at PWCC, we had another sell at Golden Auctions. So we saw the PSA 10 on Golden Auction. Golden Auctions usually has really good sales for their customers. So we were thinking, oh, this card's going to bounce back. But then it dropped to 135,000, which is this card right here. So yeah, it dropped down to this 135,000 12 bid mark. So that's when we knew that this card is really dropping. And then we get to the last sell here recently, 95,000. So on the 30th, which is the sell I just showed you right here, 95,000. So I mean, and if you look on eBay, so you already got someone right here that's trying to get a starting bid around that 95,000 mark. And then the other ones right here, these guys, they just, you know, 325,000 or best offer. This guy's got it for $500,000 or best offer. So I mean, these guys right here haven't really faced reality yet of this, you know, new comp. They just don't want to believe it right now. So they're keeping their card listed for quite a high price right here. And you got this guy right here, great seller by the way. He's actually sold to me my one of my star Michael Jordan cards. He's a really good seller, really good guy to work with. And he's got his PSA 10 here. and he's got the base, and both of these cards have dropped. So, I wish him luck on those sells right there, but the value is, the whole market is kind of cooled off. So there is another PSA 10 right here that's like golden auctions right now, and this has a few days. They in between. Let's see, right here it shows 2 days and 3 hours left, actually, and it's up to 81,000. So with the buyer's premium, it'll probably be around the same price that it just sold on PWCC, but this still has 2 days left, so maybe it can bounce back a little bit, but I don't know. We will see about that. So if we look at the PSA 9, and PSA 9 is not doing much better. So looking at the PSA 9 here, this one has a pop of 1,896. And so it last sold for 11,330. And that was on the 30th of March as well. And the average for the 3 months is 18,000, and that is 92 sales. So 92 sales in 3 months. And the high was 31,000. So that was at the absolute peak of this card, was 31,000. And that was on the 11th of February. But you can see what it's done since then. On the 13th of March, well, actually, here on the 7th of March, it dropped down to 17, and then it was 14, and then 15, and then it dropped down to 12, and then it went to 14, and then back down to 10, which is, the last time, let's see, 10, there's 11, 10, 10, there's a bunch of 10s in here. So the last time it has sold for 10 was back here on the 19th of January. And if we go back to the beginning of the 3 months, it was selling around 7,000. So we're back to January prices on this 9. So if we look on eBay, right here, let's get to the PSA 9s. So PSA 9s here. So we have one here that's 5,950, 23 bids. And here's one for 9,500, a best offer. This one has a qualifier, so that's why that's not being bought. This one also has a qualifier, an ST 12,500 for that. So here's the first one that doesn't have any qualifiers, 12,499. Buy it now. So we know these are selling between 11 and 10,000. So there's probably someone out there thinking about this one real hard. So here's 13,000, our best offer. Here's 15,000, our best offer. So it's quite a jump here. 15,000, our best offer. 16,200, our best offer. Here's 18,000, buy now. It just gets higher from there. So you really want to look at these right here. These ones around this price right here with the best offer available. So let's look at the next card down the line. So BGS 9.5. So not much to say about this card because it has not sold. There's a pop of 32. We're still stuck on this sale right here on the 30th of January. And this was actually as the card was increasing, but before the peak. And then there was no sale during the peak or after the peak. And now I don't think anybody wants to sell this card right now because I think this 70,000, I think it might be a lot lower than that right now. So if I had the BGS 9.5, I definitely would not sell it either right now. And there's none on eBay. All we have is this SGC 9.5 for 75,000, our best offer. So the SGC is kind of comparable to the BGS 9, so might be something to look at. So next card we have on the list, we have the BGS 9. So the BGS 9 has a pop of 226. For the last 3 months, it has sold 6 times for an average of $10,000, and it last sold for $8,599. So the high was $13,026 back here on the 18th. But look at this. This thing has really went on a ride. So it dropped off 7,425 and 8,200. So that was just after the peak. And then it bounced back a little bit here, 12,000. And now we're back down. So that's how we're getting this. It's been averaging about 8,000 for the 9, which is a great, it's a great car to have. I meant 9. So if we look here, we have one that's at 3,273, 15 bids, 3 days left on this card. There's a 9 for 12,995 or best offer. And then it really jumps up in the 20s right here. Here's a pair right here for 25,000. Buy it now. So that even if you broke that in half, that's well above the recent sales. Of course, the average is about 10,000, so it's still a little bit higher than that. And so it went straight from somewhat reasonable prices to the 60s. So not much to work with right there. But this 12,995 or best offer, that looks promising. So let's get back. So next one we have is the PSA 8.5. So PSA 8.5 has a pop of 87. So the last 3 months it sold 10 times for an average of 8,751. And it last sold for about 10,000. So that was here on the 26th of March. So the peak right here was 15,000 on the 7th of February. And then after the peak, it dropped down to 6,375. Because there's not very many of these, there's only the pop is only 87. So you're not going to get a lot of sales. So this one sold well after the peak and it had already started to drop. And then you have this really low sell right here for 4,340. So it bounced back from that 5,150, and now it's up here at 10,000. So I don't know. I would say this 10,000 is might be kind of a fluke here. So I think the average is around 6,000 or so here recently. So if we check eBay, see what we got on eBay. We have a card here for 7,999 our best offer. See, this is what I'm saying, around 7,000 to 8,000 probably for this card. Here's PWCC. They got one for 9,950 our best offer, and then it jumped up to 14,500 best offer and 15,000, and then it gets really high from there. So let's check out the next card on the list. We have good old PSA 8. So this is the most common grade. We have 3,560 of these in population. And there's been 81 sales in the last 3 months for an average of 5,333. So it recently sold for 2,948. And it's been holding steady around this price here. About 3,000. Really about 3,000. So we're back to the prices. We're nearly back to the prices from 3 months ago in early January before it really took off. It took off in mid-January and then it just never looked back, and it peaked all the way up here at 13,000. But now we're back to three months ago prices. So about 3,000 on this card for for really nice eye appeal. You're gonna get the high threes maybe. So let's check out what we got on eBay. So here is an auction for 550, 21 bids. It says 2 days left. Here is one, $831, a new listing. This has 6 days left, 7 bids so far. Here's one for 1,025, 7 bids, another new listing, has 4 days and 2 hours left. Here's one that's up to 1,050, 25 bids. This has 2 days left. Here's $1,526. This has 3 days left. So it has 20 bids. So here's another one for 15,050, 9 bids, 3 days left. Here's 1,625, 14 bids. Another new listing. This has 6 days left. Here's 1,730, 18 bids. Here's 2,550, 33 bids. This has 1 hour left. So This is getting up towards the average right here of about 3,000. And here's 2,800 starting bid. This has a day and 22 hours left, so no one has bidded on this one yet. So that'll be an interesting watch. And then you have 3,900 or best offer. So looks like, it's pretty close to that average. So he'll probably, negotiate with you right there. So here's 4,000. Buy it now. That's just too high. All of these are just too high up here. We got a bunch in like the 4,000 range. So next card on the list at cardladder.com, we have PSA 7. This one has a pop of 1,387. This sold 105 times in the last 3 months. So this one's had the most sales. So it's average of 2,719. It last sold for 1,823. So this one is still a bit higher than 3 months ago sales. So this is averaging about 2,000 here for these last, 10 sales or so. 3 months ago, we were still down in the, 900 range, just getting to the 1,000 range. So these are in about the 2,000 range. Let's see, we didn't get to 2,000 until about the 6th of January, so early January. And then it dropped some more, so we wasn't quite at 2,000. We got to 2,000 for sure mid-January. And it was up and down, up and down, up and down. So about mid-January, we're about back at mid-January prices right now. And the high was 5,150, which was on the 7th of February. So that's what the PSA 7 is looking like. So if we check eBay, let's see what we got. 2,050 our best offer, so right at that average. Here's 2,800 our best offer, so not too terrible. There's another 2,895 our best offer. 2,999 our best offer. So these listing prices aren't ridiculous. So hopefully these sellers will work with you and you can get it around that average. Here's some buy it now for about 3,000. So these are kind of high here. All of these ones for today's market, bunch in the 3,000 range. So let's check out the PSA 6. So PSA 6, see what we got. A pop of 939. So we had 66 sales in the last 3 months for 1,938 average. So this one's been quite choppy. So it last sold for 1,824, so that's right at the average, and the high was 3,505 back here on the 12th of February. So looks like we're, this one probably had, some of these, some of these lower end 7s will have like really, or the 6s. When you get to the PSA 6, the eye appeal can really vary. Some of them can look really bad, and some of them can look really nice. So this 1,250, that's probably one that did not look that great. But it looks like 15 to 17, and you got this one that's probably a really good eye appeal, 18. So 18, about 15 to 18, which is, 3 months ago we were still at 1,000. So we didn't get to these prices till about mid-January. So again, we're back at mid-January prices on most of these grades. So let's check out the PSA 6 on eBay. So we have one here that's 415, 8 bids, a new listing. Here's 629, 27 bids, 6 days left. And then here's one for 1,799, 0 bids. So this is right at the average. So here's 1,950, our best offer. And here's one about the same price, 1,975. Our best offer, here's 2,000, buy it now. So 2,000, yeah, that's probably top of the market. That'd be like your best looking ones. So here's 2,000 best offer. Here's 2,000, buy it now. Here's 2,100 best offer, 2,100 best offer. So these listing prices aren't ridiculous if they're willing to come down to the the average. So you can look through here and just find like the one with the greatest eye appeal, and just you pretty much cherry pick them right now. So let's look at the next grade, a 5. So this is the last one the card ladder is covering. So this one has a pop of $8.99. This has had 63 sales in the last 3 months for an average of 1,768. Last for 928. So that was on the 30th of March. So that just happened. And the record high in the 3 months is 2,899, which is the record for it, period, overall since the beginning. So, but 3 months ago we were looking at about $600. So I bet you we're back to about mid-January, because this last price was this was a huge fall off here. So this could be, sometimes when you have a bunch of sales, you can pretty much throw out the rock bottom sell and then like the spike sell, because sometimes you just have weird things that happen on these auctions. So you want to just look at the average, and the average is looking about, see, there's a lot of 13, 15, 16 for these really premium looking ones, about 16, and about 30, so about between 13 and 16 I would say on those. So let's see what eBay's got. So they got a new listing here, $152. So 11 bids on that, 6 days left. Here's one for $449, 17 bids, 5 days left. 887, 8 bids, a day and a half left. And there's 1,000, 0 bids so far, but this is a new listing, 6 days left. Here's 1,125, 17 bids. Here's 1,400, so close to that average. So this would be like right at the bottom of the average, actually. So buy it now for that. So it's not a terrible sell. That's not a terrible price. So here's $1,499, 1 hour left, no bids in this one. So here's another one for $1,499, no bids, but this is a new listing, 2 days and 2 hours left. Here's one for $1,550, our best offer. Looks like the eye appeal is pretty good on that one. Looks like a good cut. So I mean, card like this, it's not too bad. $1,699, buy it now. So now we're getting to the close to the top of the market for these right now. $1,675 our best offer, and then we have a jump here to almost $2,000 best offer, and then it starts getting up into the 2000s here. So that's the last card that is the last grade that Card Ladder currently covers and has confirmed prices for. So I'm gonna go over to eBay and show you the recently ended, so you can see all of the grades and all of the grading companies to see what these cards have actually been selling for. So let's cover the PWCC auctions. So they had 2 different auctions. They had the ones that ended on the 19th, and they had the ones that ended on the 30th. For some reason, that these don't show up in the normal feed that I watch. You have to kind of hunt for the PWCC ones. So what I usually do is I go to PWCC and I have to look at their listings, their completed listings. Because if you just type in 1986 Fleer sticker Michael Jordan rookie card, if you type any of this in, you're not going to get any of these PWCC cards into the listings for some reason. So, but let's go through these right here. Let's go to the 19th. All the ones that ended on the 19th, you can see the drastic change from the 19th to the 30th. So starting off with this PSA 4, ended at 1,040, 23 bids. And then you have a PSA 5, 1,622 bids. Here's a PSA 5 for $1,250, 24 bids. Here's a SGC 5.5. It ended for $850, 39 bids. So here's a BGS 6 for $1,350, 26 bids. Here's a SGC 6.5 for $1,050, 39 bids. Here's a PSA 7 with the stain on it, qualifier, $1,075, 18 bids. Here's a PSA 7 for $2,113, 51 bids. So that's That's the price difference you're going to get right there with a qualifier and then the normal. So a BGS 8 sold for $2,855, 33 bids. So here's a PSA 8 with a ST qualifier, so a stain on it, 1,829 bids. And here's one without any qualifiers, so 3,550, 17 bids. So it's almost double. It's almost double one with a qualifier. So here's a PSA 8 for 3,439, 31 bids. Here's one for 3,500, 23 bids. Here's a BGS 8.5 for 4,078, 25 bids. Here's a BGS 9 that sold for 12,125 bids. So here's a PSA 9 sold for 10,155 bids. Here's another one for 9,706, 50 bids. And here's a PSA 9 for 10,095, 42 bids. Here's a PSA 9 for 10,600, 47 bids. And here's that PSA 10 that sold back on the 19th for 155,201, 65 bids. All right, so moving on to the listings that ended on March 30th. So, and these are pretty good comps because you're getting like international buyers are actually bidding on these too. So you're getting like the whole, market base. You're getting all of the collectors, all the investors from the entire world are bidding on these. So these are really good comps to look at. So here's a PSA 4. So this one ended at 761, 43 bids. There's a PSA 5 ended at 941, 46 bids. Here's a PSA 5, 916, 50 bids. There's a PSA 7 for 1,691, 27 bids. There's a PSA 7 for 1,725, 30 bids. A BGS 8 for $2,378, 22 bids. Here's a BGS 8 for $2,371, 23 bids. Here's a PSA 8 that's autographed for $15,600, 46 bids. These look so good autographed. I wish I had one that was autographed. I like the blue ink better though than the black ink. So PSA 8 sold for $2,837, 44 bids. Here's a PSA 8 sold for $3,150, 26 bids. And here's a PSA 8 for $2,572, 31 bids. And here's a PSA 8 for $3,151, 35 bids. Here's a PSA 8 for $2,837, 52 bids. So these vary a lot depending on the eye appeal of these. There's a BGS 8.5 for $4,300, 36 bids. There's a BGS 9, so for $8,599, 28 bids. So you can already see the price difference between back on the 19th and now on the 30th, because this was well above 10,000. And this PSA 9 is 13,155 bids. There's a PSA 9 for 9,950, 31 bids. There's another 9 for 11,356 bids. And here's a 9 for 11,621, 49 bids. Here's one for 10,758 bids. And here's that PSA 10 that sold for 95,150 bids. So this right here has probably got a lot of collectors freaked out right now, but I mean, it'll get better. It'll get better. We just have to wait. The market goes up, the market goes down. It's just natural. It can't go up forever. I guarantee you the next time these spike, it's going to be crazy. But we'll just see. We'll have to wait and see. All right, so check in the listings on eBay. So we have this one right here back on the 18th of March. It's a PSA 8 sold for $3,820, 41 bids. Here we go. Here's a PSA 2. It sold for $1,749. Buy it now. Here's a PSA 6 sold for $1,550, 42 bids. And here's a PSA 6. It was listed for $2,200 and it sold for $2,050. So $2,050 on that one, on that PSA 6. So here's a PSA 9 sold for $12,500. Buy it now. Here's a PSA 8 listed for $4,050 and it sold for $3,800 for this card. So $3,800. So here's a BGS 6.5 listed for 2,250. So PSA 6.5, it's sold for 1,850. 1,850 for this 6.5. So here's a PSA 7, sold for 2,176, 30 bids. Here's a PSA 8 with the off-center qualifier, sold for 2,864. So that was a buy it now. Here's a PSA 8 for 3,299, 20 bids. Here's a PSA 9 for 10,350, 45 bids. Here's another BGS 6.5 for 2,500, 47 bids. Here's a PSA 9 with the off-center qualifier for 2,750, 58 bids. There's a PSA 6 for 1,850, 1 bid. There's a PSA 9 with the off-center qualifier for 3,750, 19 bids. There's a PSA 5 for 1,800, 1 bid. There's a PSA 9 for 12,100, 65 bids. Here's a PSA 8 for 3,500, 2 bids. Here's a PSA 5 for 1,699, buy it now. Here's another PSA 6, 1,799, buy it now. Here's a BGS 8.5 for 3,057, 3 bids. Here's a BGS 9 for 9,712, 40 bids. Here's a PSA 8 for 3,198, 33 bids. So here's a SGC 88, so it's an 8 listed for 5,900. So let's see what that went for. 4,450. So 4,450 on a graded SGC 8. So here's a PSA 8 for 3,057. Here's a PSA 8 with a ST qualifier, so it has a wax stain on it, for 1,911, 48 bids. Here's a PSA 8.5 for 10,000, buy it now. So I just rounded that up there. So here is a PSA 6, 1,550, buy it now. There's a BCCG 8 for 1,800, 1 bid. And here we have a PSA 7 for 2,047, 27 bids. Here's a BGS 8.5 for 4,995, buy it now. Here's a PSA 9 with the ST qualifier, 7,157, 27 bids. Here's a PSA 5 for 1,602, 24 bids. There's a PSA 9 with the off-center qualifier, 2,524, 45 bids. There's a PSA 9 listed for 14,000, and this one went for 10,750. 10,750 on this one, PSA 9. So BGS 6 listed for 1,700. BGS 6 went for 1,500. 1,500. So PSA 7, 1,678, 33 bids. Here's a PSA 8 for 5,000, buy it now. There's a PSA 7 with the ST qualifier for 1,999, buy it now. Here's a PSA 6 listed for 2,699 or best offer, and the best offer accepted was 1,950. So 1,950. So here's a PSA 8 with the off-center qualifier listed for 2,307, and this one sold for 2,700. So 2,700 on that. So here's a buy it now. It's for 1,699. That is a PSA 6. Here's a BGS 6 listed for 1,944, and this one sold for 1,875. So 1,875 for that 6. And here's a PSA 8 with the ST qualifier. So it has a stain on it, probably a wax stain. It's very common. So 2,001, 20 bids. These wax stains, I mean, they don't even take away from the eye appeal. So, I mean, look how great this card looks. So that's, that's my update for today. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. You guys, some of you guys have been asking me about the stickers, so here you go. There's an episode just for the stickers. So if you guys haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you have any comments at all, please comment down below, and I'll see you in the next Michael Jordan Market Report.